Hello, my beautiful feather tribe. Welcome or welcome back to Unbound Soul Tarot. My name is Helen and I am an empath as well as an intuitive tarot reader. So I'm so thrilled to have you on this channel. I hope that you stick around and join me for future readings as well. But today's pick a card reading is going to be extra fun because we're going to be looking at a very sweet theme like spirit animals, which I'm sure you already saw from the title as well. I believe that spirit animals are like our little assistants, our little helpers in this realm, and your spirit animal can guide you in several different ways. You could be seeing that specific animal a lot around you. You could be seeing them in your dreams or getting messages from them in your dreams. Or there could be other kind of symbolism regarding that animal that comes through for you a lot. And that way you'll know that that spirit animal, that specific spirit animal, is like looking out for you and looking over you. So yeah, that's the way that I see spirit animals. You may see them in a whole different way, but this reading is not really about any like definitions as such. This is just to see who from the spirit animal realm is coming through the strongest for you at this time, who is helping and guiding you, and why they are helping and guiding you at this time, and what kind of messages they have for you. So it's going to be more of a laid back and sweet and hopefully again illuminating and enlightening, but at the same time encouraging reading. That's what I aim to do on this channel. But anyway, let's get into the actual piles. So we have 3 piles in front of us, as you can see, and as an homage to our theme today, all of these decks also feature some kind of animal. So I hope that you can maybe choose a bit more easily that way. But the piles are as follows. We have pile number 1 with the Everyday Witch Tarot. We have pile number 2 with the Uncommon Tarot. And we have pile number 3 with the Modern Spellcasters Tarot. So those are your choices. And as always, as I always say, take your time as you're picking those piles, unless you have a super well trained intuitive sense and you just kind of know straight away what is your pile, then go ahead, go for it. But generally I do recommend taking a few deep breaths and kind of centering yourself and really tapping into the present moment so that you would be able to feel more easily what kind of pile you feel drawn to, because we are dealing with the with spirit animals. Since it's more of a spiritual theme today, it's going to require that you kind of tap into more of that spiritual sense as well. But if you want to, you may of course watch several piles. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, that's absolutely fine. It could be that there are several very, very important spiritual guidances coming through, or spirit animal guides that you have at this time. So yeah, do what feels and works best for you. But with that being said, when you are ready choosing, you already know you can find the timestamps in the description box as well as in the comment section down below. And I will see you guys in your reading. Hello, pile number 1. You guys chose the Everyday Witch Tarot, and I know that you can't see it right now, but your cards are waiting over here, right out of the frame. But yeah, we are going to be keeping them for later because we're first going to start off with some oracle cards. Now, a couple of things I want to tell you before we get into the cards. First of all, this is a general reading still, okay? So only take the messages that you resonate with, and everything else you can leave behind. And also, if you are interested in what else you should be keeping in mind as you're watching tarot readings on YouTube, even though this is more of a laid back one, but still it might be, there may be a lot of useful information for you, especially if you're just starting out with these tarot readings on this platform, then you may really benefit from that video, and you can check it out from the description box. It's the first video linked there. But sorry, my nose is itching like crazy. But as I was saying, we're starting off with some oracle cards first, and just in case you kind of skipped over the intro part a bit, the one thing that I also want you to guys remember is that the spirit animal coming through this reading, because we're only going to be looking at one, the spirit animal coming through this reading, it doesn't necessarily mean that that spirit animal is like the only one that you have, or that spirit animal is like your main spirit animal for all of your life. It doesn't mean any of that. It's just the current spirit animal that is like looking after you the most, or whose energy is the most prevalent around you at this time because of like something specific that you need right now as you're watching this reading. So that's what I wanted for you to bear in mind in case an animal comes through that is like not your favorite, or that you feel disappointed by, or something like that. I've heard that that has happened to people. So yeah, that's something that I wanted you to kind of keep in mind as well. But having said all of that, let's see who is your current spirit animal. Oh, look at that. We have ant spirit, time to collaborate. Yeah, I feel like ant spirit would be something that maybe some people would be like disappointed by, because it's not like, you know, a big animal like an eagle or a wolf or an owl or something like that, a snake, that are like very, very common spirit animals. So yeah, your current spirit animal that is looking out for you right now is the ant. And their message is time to collaborate. Okay, I'm going to get all the other cards out as well, and then we'll talk about it more. So let's see why they are your current spirit animal. Okay, wow, we have the King of Earth and the Four of Earth. Okay, a lot of Earth energy coming through for you. And also, what are they helping you with? Okay, we have vigilance and release. Actually, I want to switch those around. I like it more that way. Don't mind me. So the first thing I want to address here is this ant spirit, your current spirit animal who's coming through the strongest for you. Now, ants may look like something that not maybe, I'm sure that there are very many people out there who are not necessarily thrilled about ants, who don't like seeing them, who don't like the appearance of them, all that kind of thing. But I'm also kind of sure that like no one can deny the importance of ants and their magnificence as animals, as, well, I don't know if you can say animal because they are an insect, right? But I mean, they are absolutely magnificent creatures if you think about it, because it's like the way that they work together, the way that they have these like colonies, and the way that they build everything from scratch, and how they are able to have these like amazing collaborative abilities of like communicating and delegating tasks, like that kind of thing is like, I have to be honest, I'm not like an ant specialist, so I don't know like too many specifics about ants. I just know kind of like the bare minimum that I'm sure most people know. So the thing that still baffles me is how ants are able to like communicate with each other and have this very specific system in place where every single ant knows their role and they know what they need to do, and like who is going to help them do what they need to do. Like everyone kind of knows their place, everyone knows their role, and so it all comes together as this beautiful like it's like a, what is the word I'm looking for? It's like a beautiful machine almost, and it's so crazy to say it because it's nature, right? So that's kind of a paradoxical thing to say, but still, it all works so beautifully, so effortlessly, and they are so incredibly smart and they are so incredibly strong. I feel like I'm not exactly sure how much more they are able to carry than they weigh themselves, but it's something like, I don't know, 2-3 times something times their body weight. So they are not only really smart, but they also are incredibly strong. And I feel like they are so underrated a lot of the times, and they are so overlooked a lot of the times. But there is so much magic to them. And I feel like the reason why the ant spirit is coming through specifically for you right now is to kind of support you in your in your efforts when it comes to your work, when it comes to your creations. Because I do get this sense, especially with both of these earth energies coming through over here as well, and especially the King of Earth, I get the sense that you are trying to build something permanent, like a material security that would be a proper foundation for you, where you would feel stable, where you would feel like you have everything that you need, and you don't really have to worry about money issues. You don't have to worry about how you're going to get your bills paid. You don't have to worry about how you're going to afford this, that, or the other. So I do see you kind of like wanting or striving towards that material security and material abundance, but also at the same time, I kind of get the sense that even though you're trying to how should I say it? Maybe like save up and be very like kind of smart with your money and controlled and like, I don't want to say hoard, because that sounds so bad, and I don't know that you can hoard money, but it just feels like you're trying to kind of like safeguard your prosperity, or any kind of like material value that you have. I feel like you're trying to kind of hold on to it as much as you can so that you could keep growing it and building it up. But there's also this energy of like you may be holding on a bit too tight, or trying to do too much on your own, or like maybe working harder and needing to work smarter. And what do I mean by that? That I hope it didn't come off as like an insult or anything like that, because that's not how it was intended. I mean that you may be like putting more effort in than is actually necessary. That could be for some of you, that you're like actually exerting more effort and more energy than you should, or there's a better way of doing what it is that you're trying to do that would save more of your energy. That's for some of you. And for others of you, I feel like you're just maybe like trying to do too much by yourself, not trusting other people, not trusting that you can delegate some things to other people, or like incorporate other people into your process. It feels like solitary that way. And so I kind of get these two separate messages for you. So just take which one you resonate with more. But with the King of Earth, it definitely comes through as like someone who is very like well experienced, someone who is very smart, very like business savvy as well, or who just knows what they need and how to get what it is that they need. But the King of Earth is actually in itself a leader. Like they have that leadership quality to them. But with the Four of Earth, I just kind of get the sense that you may be like not using it entirely. So the reason why this ant spirit is coming through here is possibly to show you that there is a better way of doing what it is that you're trying to do, a simpler way, but also maybe to encourage you to open up to collaborations and to open up to expanding your kind of area and incorporating more people, maybe building a group of some sort or a team of some sort to kind of help the process along, or to help you get to where you want to go more easily. And so I'm looking at these like release cards and these vigilance cards. So almost like putting those two words together, I do kind of get the sense that you could be maybe holding on to things a bit too tightly, or there could be a bit too much control on your part, where again I get the sense that you may not be trusting other people, and you only want to rely on yourself. I'm actually getting a lot of that Virgo energy, I have to be honest. This kind of sounds like Virgo to me, just speaking off of pure like personal experience. But the King of Earth is actually a card of Taurus. So you could be an earth sign yourself. So that would be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Or you could just have a lot of earth in your chart. So take it as it resonates. But yeah, I do get that very like controlled sense that is coming through here. So the one thing that that also this Ant spirit is coming through to help you here with is to kind of help you ease up on that like very in control, very managed, very like I can't think of a better word than control. So it just feels like that's the kind of energy that you are operating in right now. But it may also be actually like causing you some stress. It may be tiring you out more than is actually necessary. So this Ant spirit here is saying that you can ease up on this and you don't have to have such a strong grip on everything. And it's not to say that you have to kind of like let go of the reins and you know, let the universe do whatever it wants and you just kind of stop putting in effort altogether. It just means that you can still kind of like stay in control and, as I said, be that leader, right? But just maybe ease up on like your guardedness or your level of guardedness that you may be having. And just like consider that there could be other options that may help you achieve these things that you're trying to achieve with more ease. And also that like there are people out there who you can rely on, who would see the same kind of vision that you see and who would be able to help you get further and like get there more quickly than you doing it all on your own. And there could also, this is kind of like the last message that I'm getting from this part, is that there could be also a message coming through where you may be kind of like holding on to what you have too tightly, and you may be like reluctant to share what it is that you have. Now, it doesn't have to be money specifically, even though there is a lot of this like pentacle and earth energy coming through. It could also be your time. It could also be your expertise. It could be like some kind of skills that you have, or your advice, your knowledge, anything like that. It could be that there's something that you may be like holding on to a bit too tightly, where you're not really willing to share too much or too freely. And this Ant spirit could again be like here to help you like open up more and share more of what it is that you have. Because I'm kind of getting the sense that, or the sentence in my head, like you have to spend money to make money. And again, I know that even though the sentence is all money centered, it doesn't have to be just money. But I just feel like the point here is that you kind of have to share something to get something back, to get something in return. So like the more you can start practicing this like give and take energy, this receptive energy, this collaborative energy, right? Where like it takes two to tango. I don't know why I keep saying this like sentences, cliche sentences, but I don't know, they keep coming to me. So there's definitely an element of like partnership and working together and relying on other people and delegating to other people and sharing with others to kind of work for the common goal, or to reach some sort of common goal that's coming through here with the Ant spirit. So yeah, that's what I feel like the reason for this specific spirit animal coming through is, but we're not done just yet. We're also going to see what kind of more specific messages this current spirit animal has for you. Now we're going to look at the current situation that you're in, and we're also going to look at the future that you are going to be stepping into. So I'm just going to move those up a bit here. And sorry, I'm going to try and keep those in the center here somehow. Okay, so let's see what this ant spirit animal wants you to know right now about your current situation. Okay, we have the Three of Cups. Wow, the Ten of Cups. And the Eight of Cups. Okay, you're getting a lot of water now, which is funny. And what does your spirit animal want you to know about the future? Okay, we have the Page of Swords with the Knight of Cups and the Devil in reverse. Oh, I love seeing the Devil in reverse. Always makes me so happy. Okay. So the first thing I kind of want to start off with straight away, when we look at this section over here, your current situation, right? We have all of these cups cards, which kind of tells me that you are surrounded and you may even be feeling a lot of these emotions right now. There's a lot of emotional energy coming through here, or at least emotionally charged energy coming through here. Now with the Three of Cups and the Ten of Cups coming out upright, this is beautiful energy. This is like emotional abundance, pretty much. And it does tell me that there are so many people around you, whether you are aware of them or not, who are willing to help you, who are willing to support you, and who are kind of like cheering you on and wanting you to do well. They could be your friends. They could be, okay, I don't know why, but I want to say childhood friends. That's like, I don't know, that's maybe random, maybe just like a specific message for someone, but they could be like your family members as well, or they could even be like some of your closest colleagues or some of your closest clients or something like that. But it definitely seems to be that there is a lot of emotional support around you and emotional help that is available to you. But with this Eight of Cups, I'm getting the sense that you may not be seeing it, or you may not be realizing it. You may not be like appreciating it for what it is. And so again, I feel like the same message is kind of coming through from this part as well, that like you don't have to go at it alone, and like this ant spirit is urging you to kind of like turn around and see all of this beautiful support that you have around you, and maybe like reaching out to your friends, or reaching out to even like if it's just like-minded people, like somehow collecting them. Okay, that's not the right word. Somehow like gathering them up. That's what I wanted to say. Gathering them up and incorporating them into what it is that you're doing. It could be exactly what it is that you need. It could take you to exactly where you want to go. So there's something definitely for you to consider. The other message that I'm getting here is that if you have been like trying to work on something, if you have been putting a lot of effort into something and it seems to like not be at where you want it to be, I feel like with this Eight of Cups, even though it's coming out upright, I kind of feel like this ant spirit is saying here is that like don't walk away from it, because there is so much like beauty and value there that you may not be seeing, or you may not be acknowledging right now. So just like give it time. If it's something that you're not seeing like results from straight away, don't walk away just yet. Give it time. And the last message I want to say here about your current situation from this ant spirit is that I feel like this ant spirit is asking you to consider your kind of current support group, or your current, like the people that you're currently surrounded by. And I feel like the message here is that if you have people around you who are maybe not that supportive, who are not willing to like help you out, or who are maybe like, I don't want to say disregarding you, but just are not giving you the kind of support and help that you need, who are not maybe willing to give that to you, then then I just feel like this Ant Spirit is kind of having a completely different message and saying that those kinds of people are out there and you just need to go out and find them. So take it as it resonates, right? If you have amazing people around you who are super supportive and who are wanting to be a part of what it is that you're doing, or who are like offering you their help, who are offering you their support, no matter what form it takes, then that's something to appreciate and hold on to, and definitely like take advantage of in the best sense of the word. But if you don't have that, if you feel like you are completely alone and you don't know who to turn to, and you can't get that sort of like help, support, and like encouragement from your friends, if you feel that you are all alone in this, then this Ant Spirit is urging you to find the people who would be able to help you, to find these like-minded people, to find the kind of the soul tribe that you are yearning for. And it even doesn't have to be like a full-on soul tribe. It could just be that maybe you just need a business partner who is like more experienced in something that you may not be quite as experienced in, or something like that. But it definitely feels like help is out there, whether it's around you already or whether you need to go out and find it, but it's out there. So that's kind of what I feel like the current situation is for you, and that this Ant Spirit wants you to know. Because when I look at the other three cards that we have here, with this Page of Swords, Knight of Cups, and the Devil in reverse, this is the future energy. This is the upcoming future that you are kind of moving towards. And what this Ant Spirit is saying here is that I feel like there is a lot of opportunity for you to kind of like ease up on this place that you may be like, maybe even feeling a bit stuck in, especially with the Devil card in reverse here. So there is some sort of like feeling of being stuck, or feeling of like being kind of helpless, that seems to be coming to an end, or you seem to be breaking free from that kind of energy. And especially with both this Page of Swords and the Knight of Cups, I feel like there could be someone who, like, you may be meeting someone, or someone may be getting in touch with you, or offering you something. More specifically with this Knight of Cups, it could be that they're offering you their help, that they just want to kind of like be a part of what it is that you're doing, or it could be that they could be seeing the same thing that you are seeing. Again, when I was talking about that whole vision thing, it could be that you share the same vision, and they kind of like want to work on this thing with you, or want to kind of be in the process somehow, because they have the same values that you do, or because they are driven by the same thing that you are driven from. So there seems to be some sort of like communication coming up over here, where like things could potentially be easing up for you. And I definitely like seeing that, because I just feel like regardless of whether someone is going to be approaching you, or whether you are going to be finding someone to kind of work together with, this Knight of Cups is symbolizing forward movement to me, and it's symbolizing the kind of movement where you are moving towards your dreams, where you're moving towards more happiness, more emotional fulfillment, because this is the cups, right? The emotional suit. And I feel like with the Page of Swords, there's not just like this aspect of communication coming through, but there's also this aspect of knowledge, of like clarity and truth, and seeing something for what it is, and letting that guide you. So there seems to be like a lot of promise where things are starting to move along again. Especially, I feel like it's an especially positive message for those of you who have been feeling a bit stuck, who have been feeling a bit stagnant, and maybe feeling like things are not really progressing as quickly as you'd like them to, and maybe you're afraid to like take risks or change something up, and you're just trying to kind of hold on to the stability that you have. That could be an aspect for you, but but it does seem like moving forward, especially if you heed this Ant Spirit's message of like finding like-minded people, or like looking for people who could help you in some way, then I feel like the future outlook is definitely very, very promising, and definitely looking like there's going to be a lot of movement and a lot of positive movement and a lot of like very, how should I say, like clear-headed direction, or a very dedicated way of being and a very dedicated attitude. So that's coming from the heart space. That's very important. And that seems to be kind of setting you free from this standstill, or from this like feeling of things not moving along, or feeling of being helpless or something like that. So very, very positive reading. And I really, really like this for you. And I hope that you are kind of hopeful about this as well. And the one last thing I want to say before we get into the last like oracle card part of the reading is that if there is someone who's coming through, who's like going to be reaching out to you in some way and maybe wanting to participate in what it is that you're doing, then with the Devil card in reverse here, I feel like this Ant Spirit is kind of like urging you not to be not to be as skeptical of the offer or the help coming your way, and not to like see them as some sort of a threat or danger or something negative, but try and kind of like have a very open-minded attitude is kind of what I want to say here. Because as I was talking about that guarded aspect before, it could be something that you like struggle with, that it could be something that you are very well aware of yourself, where you may have a hard time letting people like close to you, or where you have a hard time trusting people. I feel like that could be something where you really have the opportunity to work on that and kind of open up more. And I feel like with the Devil in reverse, that it's going to be a very positive thing for you, where you see that you can actually trust people, and not everyone is like out to take advantage of you or to trick you in some way. So this is, again, altogether a very, very positive reading. But we are going to get one last oracle card as a last piece of advice from this Ant Spirit for you, and let's see what they want to tell you. So what kind of last piece of advice do you have for pile number one? Oh my god, sorry, I just noticed we are pile number one, and the Ant Spirit card is the first card of the deck. That's so crazy. Oh my god, I just noticed that. Sorry. So Ant Spirit, what kind of last piece of advice do you have for pile number one regarding their reading, please? Oh my goodness, okay. Whoa. Okay, we have the Luminous Warrior. I just want to see what these were. Upper World, okay, and Pachamama, right, okay. Those flew out, but I only just wanted the one card, so I'm going to take the one that actually turned over. So we have this Luminous Warrior, and I kind of feel like this Ant Spirit is kind of asking you to like shine your light more clearly or more brightly, so that other people, again, other like-minded people, that's super specific or super important, I should say, so that other like-minded people could see you and they could find you and they could like get in touch with you. So I just get the sense that, like, especially if you are more guarded, and if you are trying to keep a lower profile, and if you're trying to like hide away a bit, then I feel like the Ant Spirit here is asking you to like shine more, and to let others see you, to let others see your light, and let others see what it is that you are striving towards. And that way you are able to attract the kind of people that you need to attract. Because especially with the Page of Swords, that's the one last thing I'm going to say, I promise. With the Page of Swords, I do get the sense that there could be someone who is reaching out to you online, especially if you have some sort of business or some sort of a project that you are doing online. And I mean, most people do have some sort of online presence nowadays. Otherwise, it would just be kind of like, I don't know, almost impossible to exist and get things done. So it could be that someone may be like reaching out to you online, or someone could be finding you online, finding your business or finding your craft or some sort of expression that you have, or someone could be just, even if they're just finding out about you online, it could be a basis for them to like reach out to you. So I feel like another message here is to like, again, make yourself as seen as you possibly can. Let others see what it is that you're doing, and allow others to find you, to find out about you. So yeah, I don't know, even though this card, I can't remember the exact like definition of this card from the guidebook, but I'm pretty sure that it actually has a bit of a different message. But that's kind of what I feel for you intuitively here, that you need to be more visible. Your light needs to be more visible. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna leave it there, pile number one. This reading once again dragged a bit more longer, or it kind of, you know, I don't know what is wrong with me, but sometimes I just can't stop talking. So I'm sorry that you had to sit here with me for longer than I first hoped to make you sit here. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this reading. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that these messages from this Ant Spirit were helpful to you in some way. If you found this reading enlightening, please do let me know by leaving me a comment or giving me a thumbs up. And I would of course love it the most if you subscribed and joined my little feather tribe so that you could hang out with me in the future as well. But please take care of yourselves, and if I don't see you in any of the other piles, then I'm wishing you all the best, and I hope to see you very soon in my next pick a card reading. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number two. You guys chose the Uncommon Tarot, but the cards are kind of out of the frame right now because we're going to be starting off with some Oracle cards, but don't you worry, you're going to be seeing your chosen pile very soon. So for those of you who are kind of new to my readings and who are maybe not very familiar with my style, I like to start off with a basis first, and for today's specific reading, we are first going to be finding out who your spirit animal is, why they are your spirit animal at this time, why they are here to help you, and what it is that you're getting help on or getting help with. So that's kind of the first part, and then we're going to look at the more specific messages from your spirit animal at this time. And I hope I said spirit animal and not spirit guide, because I keep like mixing and messing those two up. So please don't mind me if I do mix up those words. Mercury retrograde. Oh my God, I cannot speak. Anyway, so that's what the reading is mostly going to be consisting of today. And a couple of things before we get into the cards. First of all, please guys remember that this is still a general reading, okay? So if I say anything, if a message comes through that is not talking about your circumstances, like clearly not talking about your circumstances, then you can just like disregard it completely and just like listen and see what else is coming through, and maybe that like resonates with you more. But yeah, so just take that as it resonates. And if you want to like get a reminder of what it is that you should be keeping in mind as you're watching these tarot readings, especially if you're kind of new to them, then go and check out the first link in my description box, and it will take you to a video that I did all about what you should be keeping in mind as you're watching tarot readings on YouTube. And finally, because we are dealing with such a cute but also very specific theme of spirit animals that I'm sure a lot of people have different feelings towards, I just want to remind you that the spirit animal coming through from this reading, it doesn't mean that they are your only spirit animal and that they are going to be like your main spirit animal for the rest of your life. This is just the animal that is coming through right now because you need a specific message from that specific animal. And please don't get like offended or disappointed if it's not an animal that you would like to see or that you were hoping to see. Just kind of see what the message is, and then you can kind of like go on from there and see whether you want to like actually accept the message or whether you don't feel like it's resonating with you that much. But yeah, for some reason people sometimes like get very I don't know, offended or opinionated about spirit animals, and yeah, this is definitely not your only spirit animal, and it's not for life, okay? So this is just the animal that is supporting you at this time. So let's see. Sorry, I'm sure the suspense is killing everyone. Let's see what the current spirit animal of yours is. Wow, cool. And also kind of exotic, at least from where I'm from. We have the bobcat spirit. Life is a mystery. Okay, very cool. Let's see why they are helping you right now. Okay, we have the 7 of Cups. Okay, I can already kind of see. And we have the 4 of Air. Okay, and what it is that they are helping you with. Yeah, okay, Dawn, new beginnings, makes a lot of sense. And Meadow, vulnerability. Okay, so I have to be honest here, pile number 2. I don't know too much about bobcats. But the one thing that I do know due to this deck is that they are very mysterious, which is why it says life is a mystery, and they kind of like maybe work in their own ways where you can't like always make sense of them. Again, I'm not like a bobcat spirit or bobcat specialist, so yeah, I'm just gonna kind of leave it at that. But the thing that I want to say here that I'm feeling with these cards is that I feel like there is a lot of unknown in your life right now, especially because there could be some new things that are coming into your life or that have already come into your life, and you kind of may feel like out of your depth a bit, or you may not know exactly how to go about these things or what you should be doing, or you're not sure like where these new things are going to be taking you. And so because there is a lot of this unknown and uncertainty, you could be feeling a bit unsure of yourself. You could be feeling like because you don't know exactly what to do, you would just rather like not really do anything, and you would just kind of be still and wait things out and wait for things to maybe settle down and calm down. But I almost get the sense that like that's not really what is the best thing for you to do. And I feel like that's why this bobcat is coming through right now. That's why their spirit is coming through, because they want to kind of encourage you to see that like you're not meant to have all of the answers. And I feel like the biggest kind of supportive message here is that there is a bigger plan in place. And even though you don't exactly see what it is, even though you are not maybe privy to all of the details, you just kind of have to know and trust that things are working for your benefit. And I feel like that's why they are here to support you, because that's what they represent. That even though there is unknown, even though you don't, like maybe you have no clue what it is that some of these new things are going to be leading you to, this bobcat is urging you to be bold, to be like daring enough to take these opportunities, to take these new beginnings on and see where they lead you. Just be open to them, especially with this vulnerability, because it could be that like, especially if you're an air sign, and I mean, it's a very broad thing. This is a general reading. So even if you are not an air sign, it doesn't mean that this message is not like referring to you. But I'm just kind of like generalizing here that like air signs are very well known for being very much driven by their mental space, right? They're very like usually very agile in their thinking. They are very analytical. They often like operate in a logical way of seeing things and a logical way of doing things, because they have to know, right? That's their thing. That's the air sign thing. And they're also very like innovative and very flighty, and they're very witty and all those things. So there's a lot of positive to it. But at the same time, when something doesn't make sense, it could really like trip them up and put them in a very, very uncomfortable position. So if you have a lot of air in your chart, or if you are like a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, you could be feeling that more strongly than other signs or other people. Anyway, I don't know, that air sign thing kind of like just came up for me. But again, regardless of like the zodiac sign that you are, this is just kind of saying that you could be having difficulty opening up, or you could be having difficulty in situations where you can't make sense of things, where there are no clear-cut answers for you, and where you are not given the information that you are yearning for. That could really like kind of stress you out and make you feel ill at ease, and just like really, really, really confuse you and trip you up. But I see here with the Seven of Water that like there are so many options around you, and I kind of get the sense that even though you may see it as somewhat like scary, the unknown, it's actually a positive thing. And I feel like this Bobcat spirit is urging you to kind of be at peace, to try and calm yourself down as much as possible, even when you feel yourself like freaking out because you have no idea what the future is going to bring. This energy here is asking you to open up to these possibilities, asking you to consider these new things that you maybe have like zero experience in, because there is a bigger plan in place, and there is a sense of logic behind these things that are coming your way right now. But you are kind of asked to have blind faith here, and I feel like because it may be super difficult for you, this Bobcat spirit is coming through to help you calm you down and to reassure you that everything is okay, everything is under control. The universe has it under control, even though things may not be in your control right now, but the universe has it under control. So yeah, there could be some mysterious and some like confusing things happening right now that are not making a lot of sense, but that could bring with it a lot of amazing things, a lot of amazing opportunities, and could be opening up really, really great doors for you that could be leading to some like real wish fulfillment. But you kind of have to be open to it, is what I feel like is happening here. So that's why this bobcat is your main spirit animal at this time. Again, I want to make that super clear. So that they could help you kind of get through this period of like feeling a bit out of your element and maybe a bit like stressed out about the unknown aspect of things. But let's see what kind of specific messages this bobcat spirit has for you. So, okay, I'm going to try and keep them straight. Anyway, so let's see. We have 6 tarot cards here with us, and finally we get to your chosen cards. So we're first going to see what this bobcat spirit wants you to know about your current situation, and then we're going to see what they want you to know about your upcoming future. So, okay, we're starting off with the 6 of Wands in reverse. Oh yeah, with Death in reverse. And the Page of Cups in reverse. Okay, let's see. Oh, I love seeing that. Okay, we have the 5 of Cups in reverse. Wow, with the 10 of Cups in reverse and the 9 of Swords upright. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try and, sorry. I know I'm fidgeting around with the cards like crazy, but I just, I kind of want them to like be somewhat symmetrical. So let's start here with the first three cards that this Bobcat Spirit is wanting you to know about your current situation. We have the Six of Wands reversed, we have this Death card in reverse, and we have this Page of Cups in reverse. Now, the first thing that I'm noticing here that's like screaming out at me the strongest and loudest is this Death card in reverse. So this tells me that you are currently going through some sort of a transformation, and you may actually be coming out from that transformation, like you may be coming out the other end of it. But I feel like there is like so much distrust and so much hesitation and questioning and like lack of self-confidence that I'm getting here, that could be like making this transition way more difficult for you. It could be like prolonging this transitional period where it's like you may still have like one foot in the old paradigm and one foot in the new paradigm, where like things are shifting and new things are coming into your life, but at the same time they are like kind of messing you up because they may be in contrast to what you have been used to before. So this transitional period thing is like, it's annoying and it's uncomfortable and it's scary for almost everyone. But the thing that I feel like this Bobcat Spirit wants you to know here is that, again, I feel like you could be having a much more easier time with it if you just allowed it to kind of happen, and if you opened yourself up to it and were more trusting. Because especially with this Page of Cups in reverse here, I feel like it's almost like, yeah, there's so much like mistrust or distrust. I'm not sure which one is the right word to use here. But it's just like you're just not trusting the situation, and you're not trusting life at all. And the thing here is that, like, if you have that kind of very close-minded and like very sheltered way of being, or this kind of like attitude, then you could be missing out on some really, really amazing things with the Six of Wands in reverse here. You could be missing out on a lot of amazing things that could be actually like taking you to some amazing places, and that could be bringing you exactly what it is that you've been looking for, that you've been desiring, that you've been wishing for. But if you don't allow new things to happen, then those things can't really manifest for you. But whatever the case, I definitely get the sense that this transformation of yours that you have been in is now coming to an end. And I feel like the only thing that is really like affecting the length of that transformation, like how long these like transitions and changes are going to be taking, I feel like that really depends on your kind of willingness to go with the flow and to go with the changes. And the more you kind of like try to grasp onto your old familiar way of being, I feel like the longer it's going to be. And now it's not to say that you kind of need to like speed up your process, or that you need to rush into things head on. But I just feel like the main thing here is that this Bobcat Spirit is really asking you to open up your heart and open up your mind, and to be more allowing, to be more willing to like let go of the reins, especially if you want to like always want to control everything that happens in your life, and always want to stay aware of everything that like is going on constantly. If you can't stand like letting go of like the reins and just letting things happen in their own accord, then I feel like it's just going to be a much more painful transition, and it's going to be a longer one as well. So again, it's not saying that you need to like speed things up majorly, but it's just urging you to kind of open up to like letting kind of life flow a bit more. I hope that it's making sense. I hope that it's making sense, because even if you are not the one who is like leading the show with the 6 of Wands in reverse here, if you are not the one who is like in charge and at the head of things, it doesn't mean that everything is just going to like completely fall apart and disintegrate, and that you're going to lose everything and it's all going to like, you know, go downhill. Sometimes the way, like, even though I know it's easier said than done, but sometimes we just need to trust and have faith that things are going to be working out for us. And I feel like that's something that this Bobcat spirit is wanting you to know here about your current situation. But moving on, we have this 5 of Cups in reverse, this 10 of Cups in reverse, and this 9 of Swords. So with the 9 of Swords, because this is the only upright card that you have in this section, or in this whole tarot section, I mean, it does tell me that you may still be struggling to kind of battle with your thoughts and to break free from those like voices in your head that may be like telling you about the worst, or imagining the worst of the worst, and just kind of edging you towards that like negative mindset. It could be something that you're still struggling with, but at the same time, that is something that is actually in your control, the way that you think about things. So I feel like the thing that this Bobcat spirit wants you to know is that, like, again, that part is fully up to you. That part is fully in your control. And if you feel yourself kind of like spiraling out of control, or if you feel your mind kind of going to like really dark places, then this is your chance to like actually look at the truth, actually remind yourself of where you are, what the situation is, and try and kind of like calm yourself down as much as possible, and try and make your mind see, your rational mind distinguish between what the truth is, what is real, and what are only the shadows and the kind of the nightmares that your mind may be like making up and projecting. So definitely, like, I feel like Bobcat spirit is yet again urging you to consider your thoughts here. But on the positive side of things, we have this 5 of Cups in reverse. And I feel like, because the 5 of Cups is coming out in reverse, I do feel like you are going to be kind of coming out of that more emotionally challenged place, where, like, again, I kind of get the sense that, like, if you can't make sense of things on a mental level, then on an emotional level, that's where like that unknown really starts expressing itself. Like, I feel like you really, like, you start physically feeling really bad, or like really out of control. I feel like normally you may not even, like, I can't say that you're not paying attention to your emotions, but it just might be that, like, normally you are much more present in your mind, in your head, and you are able to kind of like keep your emotions under control. But I feel like when you lose that kind of stability, when you lose that confidence in that mind or like mental space level, then that's when your emotions really start acting up. But I kind of feel like you're going to be able to like break out of that really uncomfortable and stressed out mode that you may be in right now. And your emotions are going to be kind of like stabilizing here. Even though you may not feel 100% like at ease and confident here with this 10 of Cups. But I'm looking at this like vulnerability here that this Bobcat spirit is talking about. And I almost see like those two like energies getting mirrored here. So even though you could be like not feeling 100%, I also feel like the emotional like stress or this emotional dissatisfaction could be toning down a bit moving forward. So if you're feeling like especially triggered at this time, if all of these changes and these like new energies coming into your life and maybe old ones still fading or leaving, if that is still like very much keeping you kind of freaked out and keeping you in a like somewhat stressed out energy right now, then I do see that the way that you are feeling is going to be toning down. It's going to be kind of like smoothing over. It's not going to be as volatile here. But the one thing that this Bobcat spirit definitely wants you to pay attention to is your mind and the thoughts that you feed into yourself, or that your mind feeds to you, I should say. And to focus on that, focus on what you can do to kind of get rid of those shadows, because I kind of get the sense that some of those things that your mind may be feeding you are like way more exaggerated than is actually necessary. They could be blown completely out of proportion simply because you are put in that like uncomfortable and insecure place where you don't have control over the situation and you don't know all the facts. And that could be all that there is. And it could actually be like, now that I'm looking at this 10 of Cups, it could be that it's maybe triggering something in you that like ties you back to your childhood, or that triggers something from your childhood, like a sore spot, or a painful memory, or some kind of like, yeah, I'm just gonna say trigger. It could like bring about some old wounding or something from your childhood that may be causing you to get that sense of stress, or to freak out a bit in the face of the unknown. But again, the more that you are able to like control your thoughts, the more you are able to calm your mind down here, right? That's why this Bobcat spirit is here, again, to help you stay calm, to help you kind of like get into this space of being at ease and being more allowing and being more open, even if things are not making sense to you, even if you are like maybe a bit scared of what is to come. I completely forgot how I began that sentence, but even if that's the energy that you are in, then Bobcat spirit is saying that you can still be in charge of your thoughts, and you can still kind of calm your mind down and rein those like really, really out of whack thoughts back, or in, I should say. Again, I'm sorry about my verbal mishaps and all of that. It's really, really difficult to speak right now. But anyway, so those are kind of the messages that this Bobcat spirit is wanting you to know right now. And again, I feel like the more you are able to like welcome in these new energies and trust life, and trust that the things that are happening for the benefit of you, and the more that you are able to kind of calm yourself down in the face of these like new and uncertain or unknown energies, I feel like the more easy this thing is going to be, and the more you are going to be able to get out of these experiences as well. But let's get one last piece of advice from Bobcat Spirit to you at this time before we close this reading out. Can we get one last piece of advice from Bobcat Spirit, please, for pile number 2? Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see. We have the Tree of Life at the bottom of the deck, but you got the Sorcerer. Oh, this is kind of funny. So, I don't know. Again, as I said at the beginning of the reading, I am no specialist when it comes to bobcats. I really don't know. Like, I know very little about them. But the one thing that I kind of like get from them is that they could have a bit of a trickster energy, or a bit of like a, you know, like you can't really like put your finger on them. And And with the Sorcerer card, I almost feel like, I don't know, I almost feel like it's kind of a similar energy here. But because we're talking about advice, right? This is the advice from this Bobcat spirit here. I kind of get the sense that what Bobcat spirit wants you to know is that, like, you kind of control how this experience and how these changes are going to be affecting you and your life. That's something that we already covered. So I feel like Bobcat spirit wants you to be mindful of the kind of energy that you are projecting or that you are putting out there, because I feel like the same kind of energy is going to be like coming back to you. It's going to be like this, I almost want to say like this law of attraction thing, but I feel like with the Sorcerer, it's almost like saying that it kind of reminds me of the Magician archetype, where it's like you have more control and you have more power than you realize. So if you direct that like power and that energy of yours, your focus and your energy and your attitude, if you focus all of that on like the negative things and on fear and on like hesitation and all of these like more low vibe energy things, then that's something that you're going to be like attracting as well, where this whole thing, as I said, is going to be more like difficult for you, more difficult than it needs to be. So if you manage to like see the good in like these, maybe even if it is scary, even if it is difficult, but if you manage to find something positive about these things, or if you manage to stay hopeful and again trusting, then I feel like you are going to be getting back more of these like positive signals as well. I'm looking at these rainbow colored stripes, and rainbows always appear after the rain, so it does kind of like I don't know, it feels almost like fitting that if you manage to find like the beautiful in the storm, or if you manage to find the good in what is happening around you, then you are going to be seeing it more. You're going to be attracting it more to you as well. So yeah, I completely understand and I completely empathize that it's a tricky situation to be in, and it's a tricky energy to be in, and it is scary and it is uncomfortable, and it is like you just kind of don't know what you're getting into, and you don't know what to expect, and you know, it makes sense. It freaks almost all of us out. But even though there was a lot of like talk of like just trusting and trying to like fight your own urges to overthink things and all of that, ultimately I feel like the message of this reading and from this Bobcat spirit is that all is well and things are going to be fine. Things are going to be absolutely okay. But you may just need to like focus on seeing it that way, or focus on believing in that, and maybe battling those negative thoughts if that's something that you tend to kind of get caught up in. But yeah, generally I feel like the universe is looking out for you. The universe is working its magic to bring you the things that you want to see and that you want to experience in your life. And ultimately things are going to be absolutely beautiful. So just try and kind of go with the flow and try and stay as positive, as hopeful, as open and allowing as you can. And I feel like it's going to be a lot easier for you and a lot more enjoyable as well. So that was your message from your current spirit animal, the bobcat, and I hope that you found it useful, and I hope that this offered you some kind of support that you could really use at this time. I hope that it gave you that. And if you resonated with this reading, if it was useful to you in some way, then please let me know in the comment section, or you can just give me a thumbs up, and that way I'll also know that this resonated for you. I am so thankful to you that you put up with me and that you put up with my very like, see, I can't even finish my sentences right now. Like, I can't find the words and I'm all over the place. So thank you for putting up with my mumbling and rambling and all of that. And if you haven't joined my Feather Tribe already, but if you did enjoy my energy and if you want to see more cool readings in the future, then definitely don't forget to subscribe and join our little Feather Tribe as well. But I am going to leave it here. I am wishing you all the best. I'm sending you so much love and light. And if I don't see you in any of the other piles, then please take care of yourselves. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. You guys chose the Modern Spellcasters Tarot, but you cannot see it right now. Don't get freaked out. Your cards are here. They're just kind of out of the frame here. They are waiting for their turn because we are first going to be starting off with some oracle cards. Now, some of you may know, some of you may not, but I like to start my readings out with some kind of like groundwork information first. And this works out specifically well today because we're going to be looking at your spirit animal. And so this first part is going to be telling us who is your current spirit animal, why they are helping you at this time, and what it is that they are helping you with. So a couple of things that I want to, and after that we are going to get into the tarot. We're going to get the messages from your spirit animal, and we're also going to be getting a piece of advice at the end of the reading. But the thing that I wanted you to remember before we get into the cards is that, first of all, this is still a general reading, okay? Even though it's more laid back, even though it's more fun, it's still a general reading. So if something comes through that doesn't resonate with your specific circumstances, just let it be, let it go. It might not be a message for you, but there could be something else that comes through that is a message for you, okay? So just kind of like keep that discernment on at the background there. But if you do want to see what else you should be keeping in mind as you're watching general tarot readings, then you can also check out the video that I made specifically about that. It's the first link in my description box, and yeah, it's full of very, very useful information. And lastly, the thing that I want you guys to also remember is that no matter what kind of spirit animal is coming through this reading, it's not to say that this spirit animal is like your only spirit animal and that they are going to be your spirit animal for the rest of your life. This is probably only one of many of your spirit animals, and they are just the one who is coming through the strongest in this reading, because we are only going to be looking at one, and we're going to be looking at their very specific message to you at this time. So even if it's like an animal that you don't necessarily like, or that you're not very fond of, just see what the message is and how it resonates to your current circumstances, and yeah, just kind of have an open-minded attitude, because yeah, this is just an animal for you right now, and a spirit animal that you need the most at this time. And there are most likely going to be more spirit animals that accompany you and guide you in your life, but this is just the one that wants to give you a specific message at this time, okay? So please don't be disappointed if an animal comes through that you don't really like, okay? But let's see who it actually is. Oh, that's so sweet. We have Pig Spirit. Use your mind wisely. This is such a cute card. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's a very, very cute card. So yeah, cool. Anyway, let's keep going. Wow, we have the High Priestess. Oh, okay. And we also have Hermit. Wow, very, very deep and very profound energies coming through already. Okay, and let's see what they're helping you with. Okay, we have Celebration and we have Vision Quest. Interesting. Okay, so your spirit animal at this time is the pig. And I don't know about you, but whenever I see this card, like, it always reminds me of Babe, the pig, Babe the pig. And I don't know, it's so cute, and it's just cute. But the thing about pigs is that, I mean, I feel like they have a bit of a bad rep to them at times, but because there are so many like nasty expressions or kind of more like insulting expressions about pigs. But I mean, actually pigs are like so incredibly smart. They are incredibly intelligent. I don't know. I kind of feel like they have a bad rap to them, but specifically in this deck as well, you can see that the aspect of the intelligence of the pig is definitely used and brought to the forefront here with this use your mind wisely. So I feel like that's why this pig spirit is coming through as like one of your main spirit animals right now, because they are urging you to kind of like consider how you think. They are urging you to consider how you use your mental resources and whether there are better ways to use some of that mental space, and better ways to like, or better things to utilize that mental energy for. And I'm kind of getting with all of these, because the Vision Quest is a huge card, the Hermit is a huge card, it's a major arcana, the High Priestess is a huge card, and then we have the Celebration Dance, which is like a very light-hearted and very like frivolic, is that a word? You know, it's very just like very joyous and very fun and celebratory, right? So it's kind of in like dark or stark, stark was the word I wanted to say. It's in very stark contrast to all of the other cards. Now, one thing before we even get into the messages, I am struggling so hard with my words because we are in like Mercury retrograde right now, and it's majorly kicking my butt. So if I struggle to finish my sentences, if I struggle to find the words, and if I mess up my sentences and my grammar and all that, please bear with me, because I am like, it's just almost impossible for me to talk right now, but we are doing this anyway. So yeah, I get the sense that you could be, okay, now take it as it resonates, but I'm getting a lot of this like isolated and a lot of this very like internal energy, and not that much like external energy. So you could be someone who is very aware of themselves, someone who has put a lot of work and energy and effort into themselves. You could have been like doing a lot of soul searching and a lot of like just trying to figure out who you are and trying to figure out what you want, and contemplating all of these really, really deep and serious, very, very serious and very necessary questions. But you could also maybe have gone a bit like too far with them. Maybe it's actually like gotten to the point where you are so used to kind of just like being by yourself or living more inwardly and just like living in this little like existence of your own in your own little universe, and not really like reaching outward to other people, not really socializing too much anymore, not really like having these external stimulations. And I feel like this pig spirit is coming through to kind of help you come out of that space, because I do feel like there is a need for you to kind of lighten up a bit and maybe like not be as serious about life as you may have become. And this is like in no way a judgmental thing. I think it's really like positive and a very, very good thing to work on finding out who you are, and to put time and energy into like spending time with yourself, diving deep, doing shadow work, going through all of these patterns and beliefs that you have, and like working to gain more knowledge and to gain more awareness of yourself and your place in this world. I feel like it's all golden stuff, and I feel like everyone should do it. But I also know from personal experience, yet again, that it could potentially take you to a place where you get so comfortable being by yourself and like exploring your inner depths and realms that you kind of lose touch with the outside world. And I feel like that's something that this pig spirit is urging you to do here, to use your mind wisely, right? It's like, yes, it's a good thing to consider these deeper things and to you know, get to know your own mind and get to know your own heart more. But at the same time, there is a time and a place for like these more lighthearted times, for these more like joyous times where you don't really have to think about things too much, where you don't have to constantly be aware of yourself and what it is that you're doing and how it is that you're expressing yourself and what kind of like expression or like what's the word I'm looking for? What kind of like opinion you are leaving of yourself, or impression. Oh my goodness, impression was the word I wanted to say. What kind of impression you are leaving other people. There are times when those kinds of things are just like not necessary at all, where, you know, where you don't have to put that much mental focus on those things, and where you can just kind of let go and let loose and just have fun, right? Enjoy the more like lighthearted, carefree aspects of life. So there needs to be this balance. There needs to be this balance where you are really like focused and where you are really responsible and you're doing the things that you need to do, and you are like, you know, working on yourself and trying to improve your life and continually like upgrade yourself and like working towards growth, right? Working towards development. Those kinds of things are all very necessary, but so is just letting loose every now and then. And that could be an aspect of life where you may be struggling, or it could be an aspect of life that you have kind of like estranged from a bit. So that's why this pig spirit is here to remind you of the fact that there is more to life than learning and awareness and information and like constant growth and development and achievement. There is more to life. And as much as like having private time and having private space is a good thing, it can also become incredibly lonely, and it can become incredibly isolating. So yeah, it may be time to kind of lighten up and lighten the mood and get yourself back to a more joyous, back to a more happy and more like, again, carefree. Carefree is probably like the best word to say here, because it just sums up the whole energy. It could be time to get more into that carefree energy. And to not overexert your mind, not to overexert like how much you constantly like think about and analyze and try to make sense of and all of that. Sometimes it's best to just like get all of that stuff out of your head, to get into your body, to be in the present moment, and to just enjoy what is, to enjoy the people around you, to enjoy everything that you have and everything that you are in that present moment. And I feel like that's what this pig spirit has come here to help you with. So yeah, wow. It's definitely time to give your mind a break, is kind of what I feel like. But now that we have kind of like taken a look at your spirit animal that is helping you right now and the help that they have come to give you, let's look at some of the more specific messages that they have for you. So we're first going to see what this pig spirit wants you to know about your current situation, and then what they want you to know about the upcoming future. So let's see. Yeah, see, we are starting off with the Hanged Man. Oh my goodness, and more Major Arcana cards. And Temperance, and the Seven of Swords. Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about those. And let's see what we have in the future. We have the Queen of Cups. Here it is, getting more into the senses, getting more into your feelings and emotions, and breaking free from that mind. Oh, we have the Four of Cups in reverse and the Eight of Wands in reverse. Yeah, wow. Okay, so let's talk about them. So my eye is drawn straight to the Hanged Man and the Temperance card here because these are major arcana cards. So I feel like what this pig spirit is asking you to do here is to kind of like is to find ways to transform this like very, how should I say, very like stagnant and like removed energy that you may be in right now. Like the Hanged Man in this specific deck is much more like radical and much more like scary looking probably than in most other decks that I have. But I feel like it's almost like perfectly summarizing the kind of energy that I'm feeling here, is that it's almost like you have extracted yourself from life in a way, as dramatic as that sounds. I feel like you have extracted yourself, and so you have kind of become so accustomed to just being by yourself and focusing on yourself and like not being a part of life and of like other people and of just like doing things in a more broad sense, not just like by yourself, that it almost has like, it's almost got you like so completely stuck that you can't really break out of that space anymore. It has you like enclosed, that kind of energy. And with this Temperance coming out right next to it, I feel like Pig Spirit is saying that it's time to change that energy now. It's time to break out of that energy now, because you've been in that little cocoon for long enough. You've done the soul searching, you've done the enlightenment thing and the like deep diving thing for long enough, and now it's time to like put your energy back into the fray here. It's time to transmute the situation. So everything that you have learned, you can now put to use. You have that knowledge by your side, even with the Seven of Swords, right? Like the Seven of Swords has a very, like, mostly it has a more negative connotation to it, right? Where most people see it as like a card of a thief or some sort of trickster, manipulation, that kind of thing. But in this instance, it's also a card of strategy. It's also a card of like being like inventive, right? And I feel like in the more positive sense of this card, that's kind of what I feel like Pig Spirit is saying here, that you kind of need to trust that you can manage, that you can be part of life again. You can have fun. You can kind of let loose more, and things will still be okay. Like you are wise enough to handle the situation, and you have everything that you need to kind of make the most of a situation, even if you are not like fully in control of the situation, if that makes sense. Because the Seven of Swords is, in essence, it's taking a risk. It's doing something that like may put you out of your comfort zone, but that may reap great benefits for you if you succeed. And I feel like that's like from a positive sense, that's what this Pig Spirit is asking you to do here. It's like, it's saying that there could be so much that you could gain from your life, so much more that you could gain from your current situation if you were to actually put yourself out of your comfort zone and take that risk and put yourself out there. But now on the flip side of things, I also feel like with the Seven of Swords, it could also just be a reminder that like, if you decide to like just completely stay away from like enjoying life, and if you are adamant on staying in that comfort zone, you could be doing that to the detriment of your own well-being. It could be like kind of at one point coming back and biting you in the butt, where you may have regrets later on, or where you may wish that you could go back and do things differently. So it's asking you to like almost like think further ahead in a way as well. Even though, like, again, being in the present moment and all of that it's very important, but sometimes it's also crucial not to forget about like the long-term goals and the long-term plans and where it is that you ultimately want to end up in. And so this is kind of just like, I feel like it's just reminding you that what you do has consequences, and what you don't do also has consequences. So if you don't want to like end up in a place where like you may have regrets later on that you didn't do something that maybe was outside of your comfort zone, or that you didn't put yourself to the test or try something new, or like do something fun and exciting that was maybe a bit scary at the same time, it's just kind of like in your hands right now to make the changes, basically, is what this pig spirit is saying. To change the situation around, and to see what happens if you kind of let loose every now and then. So yeah. I'm not exactly sure like what you've been up to, what you've been doing and all of that, but it does feel like kind of change, or at least like shifting the energy around a bit and bringing something new into the mix is definitely called for here. Now we're moving on to the future energy here, with the Queen of Cups, the Four of Cups in reverse, and the Eight of Wands in reverse. So this is the future energy. And I do feel like what Pig Spirit is saying here is that I feel like you have the opportunity to actually feel much more balanced, much more content with things, because again, this feels very much like mentally driven, and this Queen of Cups is much more wholesome. It's much more in tune with their heart space as well, and with their intuition as well. So I feel like there is a lot of potential for you, especially moving forward, to get to that space where you can feel good about yourself, and where you can feel good about your life, and where you can feel like balanced, both in your emotions and in your mind space as well, where it's like you are doing the smart things, and you're like making beneficial moves and decisions for yourself, but at the same time you also are looking after like your own needs and your emotional needs more specifically. So that's a really positive thing to be, or the positive place to be in. And I also love seeing this Four of Cups in reverse here, because I do feel like you are going to be coming out of that space of like isolation, where you are removed from other people's energy, and maybe from this like very stuck and that standstill kind of energy here. Because when the Four of Cups comes out upright, this is like you being kind of alone in your own isolated space, and being distant from others, and not really even seeing what is around you. But when it comes out when it comes out in reverse, it's telling me that you're breaking out of that. You're breaking out of that dissatisfaction. And again, because it's the Cups card, it does tell me that you are finding some sort of like emotional fulfillment here. And maybe it's something that has been like a sore spot in you for a long time, but maybe you just haven't dared to actually do anything about it, because you've become so used to just being by yourself and being in that secure space. But with the Eight of Wands in reverse, I also feel like it's almost it's almost like this pig spirit is saying that, you know, first of all, like don't rush anything, and like don't get too caught up in like what's happening, that you kind of lose sight of your responsibilities and your goals. So it's again, it's asking you to keep this balance, because I'm feeling a lot of balance with the Queen of Cups, and I mean the Temperance card in itself is also in a traditional way a card of balance too. So there is this message of encouraging balance, where again, that like more controlled, more responsible, more in charge, and like focusing on all those kinds of like more like mundane things, right? Where things need to get done and where you need to take care of all of your obligations, and you also are like working on yourself, right? But there also needs to be this time and space for just having fun, and if you are able to find that balance, then I feel like you are going to get to this place of like real and full contentment and just being happy with where you are and what you have. And that is really an amazing place to be in. So yeah, I think it's so cute that this pig spirit is coming here to kind of help you find that balance, and to help you tune your mind maybe down a bit, so that you could feel more into your senses, and you could feel more into what your heart is actually yearning for and calling you towards. And so you would have that space to look after your more like deep needs as well, and nurture those emotional needs as well. So I feel like there is a lot of like peace and contentment that you are moving into, but also this like breaking out of that like standstill, stagnant, stuck energy, which hopefully is a very, very positive piece of information for you guys. So yeah, this looks really, really promising. But before we close the reading out, we are also going to be getting one last piece of advice from this pig spirit. So let's see what kind of advice they have for you. What kind of advice does pig spirit have for pile number 3? Oh, okay, I guess you're getting 2. Those just kind of flew out of my hand. Oh, okay, wow. We have upper world and we have eagle. Yeah, okay, so let's talk about them. And at the bottom of the deck you have water. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. Yeah, the emotional aspect is definitely of huge importance in this reading. Hinting at your heart space that we've been already covering as well. But with this upper world and this eagle, I feel like what pig spirit is kind of advising you to do is to kind of get more in touch with your higher self. And I feel like that's again one thing that you kind of may struggle with doing if you're too much in like that logical, rational aspect of yourself, where it's like you are too much in your own head, if that makes sense. So yeah, I feel like the upper world card here is definitely asking you to kind of get more in touch with that, like with your higher self, with that spiritual aspect of you. But it's like I love that it's accompanied by this eagle card, because the eagle is all about like taking action and actually like going after what it is that you want. So I find it so funny that the whole reading has been about like striking this balance and finding this like harmony of like balancing your mind and your heart. And now we have these 2 cards that are like literally talking about having that spiritual aspect of yourself, but at the same time also not forgetting about like the more physical aspect of doing things and going after your desires, going after your wishes, and just like doing something about it, right? So yeah, I don't know. I just find it so funny that's how this advice is coming through as well, in a beautifully balanced 2-card manner. And you guys are the only ones who have gotten 2 cards so far, so you're the only pile. So clearly this message of balance is one of the most important ones here, and I hope that it's one that kind of helps you in this time as well, with whatever it is that you are going through more specifically. But yeah, that's the message that that Pig Spirit has for you, and I hope that you do take the message on board and find ways to not only look after your spiritual needs and your mental needs, but also your more emotional needs, right? And allow your heart space to be looked after as well. So anyway, that's that. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm so sorry that these messages probably dragged on a bit more because of my inability to verbally express myself in a normal way. But I do really appreciate you being here and putting up with me and still looking at this video and hearing these messages. So thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I would love to know if this reading resonated with you at all. You can let me know in the comment section, or you can give me a thumbs up, and I would love it the most if you decided to subscribe and join my little feather tribe so that we could hang out in the future too. If I don't see you in any of the other piles, please take care of yourselves, and I do hope to see you very soon in my next reading. Bye bye.